this is part 2 of the afternoon tea bakes that I made for my summer hike. Let me continue where I left off. These are the shortbread biscuits that I made for the afternoon teas, and I shaped them to look like tea bags, and I created a hole at the top of each one so that I could thread the string and the label through for the afternoon teas. So the first bake is always like the test one. So I was basically trying to see what the most efficient way of doing this would be. Do I cut them all in chocolate first? Do I write the labels first? Do I attach the labels first? How do I do this? So I'm kind of like experimenting here. I added the first label and I wrote the individual attendees' name on each label, and I called it their tea, so their first name, and then I put the tea at the end, just to make it a little bit personable and make it look a little bit cute, because you guys know I absolutely love Yorkshire tea. And given that they were going to be indulging on these bakes with a homemade Yorkshire Guruk chai, I thought, why not make a tea bag shaped biscuit? Once I had attached the labels, I dipped each one halfway in white chocolate, and then I set them on a separate baking tray just to allow them to fully cool and dry. I did pop these in the fridge to let the chocolate harden a little bit, and then I realised the most efficient way of doing this is writing all the labels out and then attaching them to the biscuits and then coating them in chocolate and putting them aside. So that's what I did, and this took the best part of an hour and a half for about 25 biscuits. Oh, you know the cake truffle mixture that I had left over that I put the kunafa filling in? Well, I had leftover white chocolate and I dipped them in there and I popped them in the fridge. I only made 3 just because I had a bit of leftover stuff. And I thought, let me just do 3 and see how they turn out. So sit tight, I'll show you what the inside of that looks like later. But for now, I need to package all the cake truffles that I made. So these are the cappuccino chocolate cake truffles. The inside is a chocolate cake, and the outside is cappuccino chocolate, so coffee flavoured chocolate to die for. Head over to rujithefoodie.com and you can get the hold of my rich, moist chocolate cake recipe, or you can get the chocolate truffles recipe, and you can use any chocolate you like to coat them. It was so difficult to not eat all of these, especially because right now I am sugar-free. This was really, really difficult and one of the biggest temptations ever, because you just want to face plant all of the cake truffles. They look so good. These are the not white chocolate, ruby chocolate cake truffles with a vanilla sponge inside. I had a lot more of these because I didn't really measure anything. I kind of winged it. And then I did run out of chocolate. So you can see 2 of them are smooth and the rest have got like a drizzle on. So save those ones for my friends because they always love an extra cake truffle or 2. Then I went on to package the kunafa cups, the chocolate kunafa cups that I made. I took them out of the cupcake casing purely because it would be easier to package them in these cellophane pockets. I was very, very bored at this stage of the packaging process, so obviously I've got Amazon Prime playing in the background, watching my dramas whilst I package. But the sun was shining, and as much as I love the sun shining through my kitchen window, it's not very helpful when it melts the chocolate. So as you can imagine, I worked very, very fast, but not as fast as this time lapse. And then I packaged those heart-shaped shortbread cookies or biscuits that I made, which were delicious, but they weren't part of the afternoon tea. Those were just extras that I made for some friends and for my August giveaway. If you don't know about that, head over to my website and sign up to my mailing list, and you will be entered into a free giveaway. I am giving away prizes all throughout August for those people that are on my mailing list, and you could be potentially winning either my bakes, a discount code, or my recipe cards, or you could get a free membership to Ruji's Foodies community this month. Okay, so it's time to look inside the kunafa cups that I made. So you can see the chocolate didn't cover all the way around, which is okay, it's not a big problem. But the inside, this was fridge cold, by the way, was quite solid, but it was delicious. I think I need a little bit more tahini and pistachio cream, but it was gorgeous. And then this is the inside of the cake truffle that I put the kunafa filling in. This was good, but I think it needs to be paired with milk chocolate, not white chocolate. So this is why we recipe test and we experiment, but might be adding these to the menu soon. Who knows? Okay, so I've baked quite a lot, right? You've seen how much I baked. I am really tired. I've been baking all week, but it's time to package, which is one of the fun bits, right? I actually enjoy packaging these afternoon tea boxes. I have ordered these gorgeous tins from Peacock Supplies, and you can get 10% off at Peacock Supplies using my discount code RUJI10. But guys, here's the problem. I start packaging and I realise the boxes look pretty empty. What's going on here? In my head, I've baked all week. I've got quite a lot to add to the box, but it just looked empty. And I just thought, nah, this is not a Ruji standard box. This is not the kind of afternoon tea boxes that I make. I make like the wow factor box. So just before I started packaging, I decided I need to add something else to the box and fill that tin up because I'm not fobbing off my guests. No chance. So I decided to make these gorgeous, fluffy and delicious raspberry and coconut cupcakes. My first batch wasn't great. Like, they come away from the sides a little bit. I mean, they were edible, but they weren't exactly like the best looking. And the reason I chose these ones is because they don't have a frosting on top. You just put a jam of your choice. I'm using raspberry on top, and then you sprinkle desiccated coconut on top. So they don't actually have a frosting, but gosh, the flavour they carry, so delicious. By the way, you can get the recipe for this on my website, rujithefoodie.com, and you can make it in a tray bake or cupcakes or even make it into a celebration cake. It's a very versatile recipe. So here I am making about 3 or 4 batches of cupcakes, and I'm decorating each one as they come out the oven, because when they're hot, you add the jam to the top of the cupcake. It becomes sticky because of the steam, and then you sprinkle the desiccated coconut on top. And what happens is it sticks to the sponge. And so I decided to make those as a last minute addition, which took me a few hours because I was doing them in batches. And like I said earlier, I've only got 1 cupcake tray in my kitchen and I don't know why. I definitely need to invest into another one. By the way, these didn't take very long to cool. And so I decided I'm going to prep the boxes in the time that they cool. So I've got my Ruji the Foodie stickers, which I placed onto the lid of each tin here. And I like to make my boxes practical. So I put a napkin in each box. The base is covered with some tissue paper. The chocolate cake went in. The cake truffles went in alongside the little tea bag shortbread biscuit. Then a cupcake and the Kunafa chocolate. I added a fork or a spoon to each box because obviously you need a utensil to eat them with, and we are going to be enjoying them by the lake. So I assume most people won't be carrying a spoon on the day. And yeah, that took me, again, the best part of a couple of hours just to make sure the boxes look presentable and also delicious. For those of you that have been following me for a while, you will know I don't like to gatekeep anything. I share all my recipes, I share where I buy all of my ingredients, all of my equipment, and even the things like the tins. I will share everything that you like me to share with you, because this is about creating a strong community of bakers and foodies, and we're all in it together. So if you want to become part of a foodie community, head over to my website at rujithefoodie.com and sign up to Ruji's Foodies community. This is a subscription-based exclusive community for foodies around the world that want to connect with one another, but also want to connect with myself. And that if you want to learn from people, you want to gain more knowledge in the kitchen, baking tips, food business tips, then this is the place to be. And it's only £5 a month to join. Right, back to these bakes. The next morning, I made sure I did a checklist of all of the attendees, and I read their name off the sheet of attendance, and I packaged their bakes, and then I drove them up to the lakes, where after the hike, we enjoyed them by the lakeside. Now, I want to know in the comments, if you got this box, what would you eat first? Let me know below, and check out these views from the Lake District. Now, if you want to indulge on my bakes, then sign up to my mailing list and I'll let you know when the next hike is.